Oh my god, sorry. I'm so sorry. Holy shit. How is everybody doing? Oh, I haven't even. Oh, I have. Okay. Oh, this is just for tiki talk now because I. So sorry about that. I do not know how long I can stay. It really depends on many things, but what a shit day for me today. And it just, I mean, it just kind of fucking got a little bit more acceptable, I guess. But wow. I mean, can I not? Huh, God damn it. Hi, Serendibs. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I'm here now, so I guess, we can move forward. Then I had to take my, I don't know if you any of you guys have it, but I have a Roku, and because I have an Ultra HD 4K TV, whatever, LG TV in my living room, and I love this TV. It is older. It's like 8 years old or something, but I really do love it. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to do this without wagging around too much. So one day, and it's a smart TV, kind of obviously, right? It has it has all the apps on there, and it's supposed to connect to Wi-Fi and do all this shit, right? So one day, the fucking internet just stopped working on it, just like not nothing. I cannot know what happened. It just stopped working, and so it was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I cannot afford a new TV, so that was pretty much literally the same time that they came out with the Roku thing. Yeah, so I got myself a Roku, and it was really good, and it worked out. Okay, hold on 1 second. I got it on Srpski. No, not Srpski. English. Um, yeah, so I got a Roku, and then I plugged it in, and I hooked it up, and it was so cheap. I think at the time that I bought it was like $25. Perfect. Worked, everything perfect. So suddenly, today, that thing stopped working. Well, it was already starting weird yesterday or whatever. And I was like, what's going on? So nothing worked. I did a factory reset 2 times yesterday. Accidentally, one of those times. Started working again. Then I just did a factory reset again and started working again too. But I was freaking out because I was like, okay, I was already looking on Amazon. Oh, I'm gonna just buy a new one. But now they're like $10 more than what they used to be, because I think, like I said, I think for the one that I bought, I spent $25, and now it's like $35, and I'm like, that impossible for me momentarily, you know what I mean? So I'm like, dude, this is fucking bullshit right now. This is bullshit. But then I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'll do the factory reset, and it worked, and it's working, or it was working until, I came up here, and I don't know how this is going to continue, but, hopefully it will continue to work, but I don't know if it will or not. But yeah, so, among other things, I mean, today was just like, oh my god. And it was busy at my job, and it, pretty much every person, because there's only always two of us when I work, me and another person. Usually it's one particular person that's there all the time, but when she's not there, then other people fill in. And so she's not there right now, so another person's filling in. But it is like she does a little bit more at least than the others, but they all, I'm pretty much the person that does most of the work there. And it's like, especially with the person that I worked with today, and I will be working with again tomorrow. I have to do everything, and she does not do anything except for the little stuff because she doesn't want to break her little nails, you know. And it's like, oh my god, bro. And I'm trying to stay, you know, not get grumpy, not get bitchy and pissy, but it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard when I'm running around sweating my ass off doing all this shit, and she's just like, sugar in here and doing this, and I'm like, I want to fucking strangle you, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. So, and then a whole nother thing, some legal shit that was fucking just like totally out of the blue, unexpected. It is not directly related to myself, but it is related to somebody that's close to me. So it does affect me in a sense, and it's just like, I don't. And I've been dealing with this now. Even while I was already live, I was dealing with this shit the whole time. That's why I didn't turn on the camera, because I was on the phone. I really like morally can't go into more detail, and I know it sucks that I even started that, but I do want to explain why this went like this. Yeah, I saw your message, and I wanted to answer, and then all this shit was fucking going down, and I was like, okay, maybe he'll be in here, and then I can, you know, I was actually gonna tell you, hey, how you doing? And then you were gonna say, and then I was gonna fucking just kind of vent to you and say, oh, my day is shitty, my Roku just broke. That's really what I wanted to do. And then I texted my brother, blew my brother up. I mean, I blew my brother up. Because, oh my God, I missed a huge part of this horrific day. So there was another thing that happened. Yeah, okay. So, I come home, I eat lunch. Then this legal shit happens. I have to get on my bike and I have to go to the place 5 minutes. Then I'm there. Then I'm standing there for fucking like an hour and have to deal with fucking shit. Go home. I had just eaten lunch. I just had come home from work, put all the groceries away, eaten lunch, and then I get the phone call and the text, and I have to go there. And I go there. So then I deal with this for an hour. Then I come back home. Okay. Can't do anything now. So I'm just going to continue my routine, right? So my routine is now, okay, now I have to feed my cats. So I feed my cats. Sorry, I'm like just talking about that, Serendips. I think you're the only one here right now, but I'm just going to talk because I kind of need to get it out, and I kind of hope that you're listening because I need somebody to hear the shit, because like, it's fucking, like, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting and devastating, especially for myself because of my feelings in that situation. So anyway, why does that look so realistic though? So I go outside to exercise, and then usually the way I do it, I exercise for but between 20 and 30 minutes. You know, in Florida, it's like, I mean, when you're out there, you sweat bullets after 15 minutes, right? So sometimes I'm lenient on myself because I still water my plants for another 10 to 15 minutes out there anyway, so I'm still sweating. So it's like, okay, you know, sometimes I quit a little bit early. Depends, you know, but today I decided I was going to water the plants first. It's like, I'll just get that over with now, you know, and then I exercise. And I'm watering the plants, and I have a couple of plants that are my radishes and my green peppers. I have like a bed right literally by the fence that separates. It's a privacy fence, and that separates my neighbors from me directly, okay? My shit neighbors that I always talk about. So they have the chickens. I told you guys they have the chickens, they have the dogs. That's what they have. And well, thank you. That is actually a nice compliment. I take that as a compliment. So yeah. So anyway, so I'm watering the plants, and then this is what I noticed. This is what happens, and I'm just like immediately completely grossed out and angered and fucking like I want to fucking. So I'm watering the plants, and I'm noticing because there's a fence right there, so water gets through the fence to the neighbor's yard, right? But then the neighbor's yard is so wrecked and so fucking. There's no grass. It's all just dirt because they hauled up all the grass. They have no more grass. It looks like a construction site in the yard. It's fucking weird. And I have no explanation to why. It's not like they're trying to build anything. There's just, it's fucking horrific. Because my neighbors that used to live there before were Chad and Pam. And Pam was an awful person. She tried to harm my cats. She was an awful person. Now, Chad was great. He was a very nice neighbor, very respectful, very kind. And he had to literally one day hold Pam back because she came onto my porch and she's like freaking out. She's telling me that fleas are jumping in our house because of my cats. At this time, my cats had all the flea medicine. There were no fucking fleas on my cats. I opened my door. I said, go in there, Pam. Go in right now. There's no fleas in my home. There's no fleas anywhere. You're full of shit. You just don't like cats. Because she literally tried to throw shit at my cats and everything. And this is a pastor's wife. Chad is a pastor, and that's the wife. I'm like, that's not very Christian, like Pam. And then she was to be like, da 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 da. And I looked right at her and I said, listen, I'm telling you right now, if you hurt any of my animals, and I said what I said. And what she does, she looks, Chad is over there and he's like, Pam, get back over here, get back over here. And she's over there yelling to, did you hear what she just said? She threatened to eat me. And I'm like, you are talking about killing my cats. You're talking about shooting my cats. What do you think I'm going to do to you? So anyway. Okay, so he apologized for his wife, blah, 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 la, 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 la. Anyway, at some point they sell the house, they move away. Chad was very good with the yard. His yard was fucking pristine, man. He had this nice built house for his kids. They had 2 cute kids, and everything. And it was always clean and nice over there. And now it's a fucking wreck. Okay, so here's where it gets to this I'm fucking watering the plants, and the water goes through the bottom of the fence, and the fucking chickens, all of the chickens, I think it's like 5 or 6 chickens, they run to the fence, to the bottom of the fence, and they're just like, beep, 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 like chickens do. I was like, what the fuck? And I keep spraying like water over there, and they're fucking desperately trying to get that water into them. Now, because there's all dirt there, the water gets absorbed immediately into the ground. So for them, it's like they have to get it while they can. So I'm like, bro, these fucking chickens are dehydrated to the point that they're going to die. Like, this is how bad. Yes, exactly. I was like, oh my god. So me, I don't give a fuck. I am now, I'm standing there for like fucking 15 or 20 minutes, and I'm just spraying so much water down there on the bottom to get it so drenched that it will create just at least a little bit of a puddle so they have some water to drink, and I'm just fucking appalled. This is underlined by the entire time I've been home. One of their dogs that I had talked about, these dogs, they had gotten out, blah, 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 completely dehydrated. It looks like they got him back, but it looks like they only got one dog back. I don't know where the other one is. I cannot see it. But the one dog that they have back again now is literally, again, locked in a cage that he cannot move around in. There's no movement space. Fucking 24 hours a day, he is doing this, barking all day. So I heard this already all day since I came home, and then it continued. It stopped like a couple hours ago. It's been quiet out there. I don't know if the dog is fucking dead or if they took him inside, because when they go out back, I can hear them right away because I have like this loud slamming door, and it slams so loud when they go out there. I didn't hear that door at all. So it's like, okay, that doesn't sound like they took the dog inside. It sounds like the dog's still out there. Yeah, so it's just like, it's fucking horrendous. It's fucking absolutely horrendous. And, did I really just go back on there? I did. Yeah. So all of this, I blew my brother up about that because I know how he feels about that too. I blew him up about. So, I guess the dog is outside. Just took a nap, probably from exhaustion from barking, finally, and from the heat. So I blew my brother up about that. At the same time, I went online and I looked like, what can I do? When I know that the fucking neighbors are neglecting their animals in this way. And I did look it up. They cannot have their dog like this. They cannot have their dog in a cage like this where the dog cannot move. That's the biggest thing. The dog cannot move around at all. So I looked it up. I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I fucking do? Because I don't care. Like, people will say cop collar. I don't give a shit. I will call the fucking army when it comes to animals. I don't fucking care. Yeah, so I found an information. I found a website or like an email address from this county that I live in, Sumter County, that is for the animals and stuff. And I put an email there. I explained to them my concern. Explained to them that animal control had already been here when the dogs had first escaped, and that I had spoken to them, but I never heard anything back, so I don't know what's the state of the situation, which it is so fucking ridiculous, because it's like, I don't like being this person. I don't like that, but I cannot have an animal suffer because of this neglect. Humans, it is that same thing that I was talking about, like humans having children, humans getting cats and dogs and all these fucking animals. They have so many animals over there too. They have fucking turtles in there. They have fucking birds. They have cages everywhere. They have fucking animals everywhere. And they're completely neglected. They literally lost a turtle. They asked my brother, have you seen a turtle? We lost our turtle. How in the fuck do you lose a turtle? A turtle? You know how slow they go? You know how slow everybody knows that. A child knows that, for fuck's sake. And they did even say, oh, that, it's kind of funny because we named her, what did it say, Speedy or something, like, because she's so fast. And I'm like, really? You made that up so you don't look stupid for losing a fucking turtle. No, it's because it's not losing. It is they're not intellectually capable of caring for something. It sounds, it sounds harsh on my end. It sounds, but it really is like, it would be like you're giving a person with mental retardation an animal to care for. You cannot. This person cannot. This is not an insult. This is not trying to do anything like this, but you can't. Because you have to take care of it. And this is the degree of, IQ that they have. Borderline. Because that's, it's obvious, that's what it is. And it's like, people like that should not be allowed That's why, when sometimes I hear people get angry that they have to jump through loops to adopt animals, and it's like, no, jump through loops. They need to be made to jump through loops. They need to make sure that this animal is cared for and has a good home. Man, there's a huge bug on my window now. Yeah, that's fucking, it's insanity, Serendips. It's absolute. Jeez, do you hear this fucking bug flying against my window? My God. That's a big bug. Yeah, yeah, so I sent that email, and yeah, I don't know if anything's gonna come out of this, but the lady that was here from Animal Services that I talked to, she was very nice. I usually don't like when I see them, because I always think about like dog catchers, and I think they're like evil people, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's always, I think it's a little bit more of a gray area, because they probably do have to do things that, that takes a lot of, like, I don't know, apathy, I guess, to do. But I don't know, that's a whole nother talk. But it's like, she was so nice. And she was so nice. And she asked me about my cat that has the, like, the literally missing nose. It's just like a gaping hole, because she has seemingly it's skin cancer. We took her to the vet, and they said it could be, that was another thing. Like, how can you not know as a vet? How can you not tell? Like, it's either a fungal infection or it's skin cancer. Oh, good, great. I know we need to make a biopsy. I get it, but it's like, okay, like, as a seasoned fucking vet, you could probably, But anyway, we took her in, and there's not much they can do. And, my brother and I came to the decision that as long as she's kicking, she's eating, she's purring, she wants to be pet, she has her tail up, she wants to just lay outside. As long as she's like that, we're going to just continue, taking care of her as we always have. But when we start seeing the decline, then we're going to probably have to make that decision, But it's like, she immediately asked about the cat. She's like, so her nose. And I'm like, no, because she was like, did the dogs do that? The dogs that had escaped, from the neighbors. And I'm like, no. I'm like, the dogs are very friendly. When they ran onto my porch and they saw me come up my porch, because I was looking for my cat, because they chased all the cats away. Of course, typical dogs, right? Not aggressive, but that's what they do. And I was looking for my cat, and I was like, where are my cats? And then I realized, oh, the cats that were in the front, 2 of them or whatever, they're all disappeared because the dogs are run free. 3 of my cats were in trees in the backyard and didn't come down because they knew the dogs were loose. But they can't get into my backyard because I have it all fenced off. But they were so scared because they're big dogs. And as soon as I walked up on the porch, these fucking dogs, man, I was so pissed off, but I couldn't even remain stern because they were like, their eyes like go squinty and their tails, and they were so excited to see me. And I'm like, here, give them more water, because they were foaming at the mouth because they were so fucking dehydrated. And she asked me right away, she's like, did the dogs do this? And I'm like, no, skin cancer. She's like, oh, I was going to say, I was like, no, she's sick. She has that wrong, But she was so nice, and I explained to her, like, I really just have this concern. These animals, they're well fed. I could tell they're even a little bit chubby, But it's like, that water is just as crucial, just as vital to any creature on the planet that lives as we do, Russian sage? No. I've never heard of that. I have regular sage. I grow a lot of regular sage. But I've never heard of that. What's the difference there? I think that's very interesting. Boom. I'm gonna look that up now. As soon as that video is loaded up, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, but so this whole thing wraps it up pretty much. Like, please, dude. And you use it the same as regular sage, or is it can you use it, or do you use it differently? That guy is so handsome. Oh my god. That's that. He's a doctor. His name is Dr. Jackson Crawford, and he's a doctor of like, I guess, Norse, like, culture or whatever. And I have him, and he's like he has so many videos, and he's so knowledgeable, and it's like I can't even keep up with how many videos he has on the teachings on the Norse culture. I think mainly his doctorate is in language science of the Norse, because that's most of his videos are based around how to pronounce things, and where the origin of the language is from, or the origin of the words and stuff. And it's very good. It's very interesting. But it is, it's not a very, like, interactive thing. It's just really him explaining stuff. It's kind of like bland, really, but for me it's good because I like it, because I can learn it that way. If there's too much distraction or whatever, I'd rather have it this way, I guess. I don't know, but it also depends. But he's just very good. I like him, and he always has a nice setup, right? He takes a video of himself, and then the background is like always beautiful scenery. I think he's in Colorado, so in the background he'll always have like mountains. He'll be standing in front of mountains, and he'll be standing on a very high slope or something, and there'll be trees, and always a beautiful scenery. So it's very, like, you can really concentrate. It's like, look at the nice scenery, and you can hear him talk about, origin of Norse language and stuff. So if you ever, want to learn, find Dr. Jackson Crawford on YouTube. Definitely somebody I would recommend. Very knowledgeable. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up Russian sage. Okay, I want to see what it looks like. That's my biggest thing. If it looks like, oh, what I see. Okay, it has those purple. Gotcha. I think it's actually kind of one of those things where I think they call it Russian sage, but I do think that this I'm pretty sure that this sage grows like this in Germany too. So technically it's probably European / Asian sage, but yeah. That's cool. Perovskia atriplicifolia. Perovskia. That's what it's called. Perovskia. It's funny today. Yeah, it does look like lavender. That's exactly, yes. Oh, gotcha. It's just called that. Okay. Yeah, today we have, because it's actually kind of cool that that's coming up, because today at my job, my boss is from Italy, but his wife is from Russia. And I've talked about this many times. Like, I love her. She's just like one of the greatest people I've ever met, honestly, in my life. She's so kind and nice. And her kids are awesome. And her daughter was in today, and I hadn't seen her daughter in, a long ass time. And she is like taller than me now. And she's like, how old is she now? What, 13 or something? 12 or 13? She's like taller than me. I mean, granted, I'm not super tall. I'm like 5'3". I'm kind of short, actually. But, I mean, that's still crazy, though. Because her mom is not that tall, and her dad is not that tall either. So it's kind of like, it's what I was talking about yesterday, that we all grow taller. Generations will grow taller. This is like right there in front of us. It's so cool when science like applies in front of your eyes like that. It's awesome. So, um, she was in. She's like, hey, with my first name, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm like, I know, and I love those kids. And we always have the TV on with, like 4K walkthrough of like Rome or fucking like Sardinia, somewhere in fucking Italy, right? And it's a walkthrough, and it's beautiful. The scenery in Italy is beautiful. Been there myself, of course, too. Being from Germany, it's only a 16-hour drive to Italy. So, anyway, now today, coincidentally, it had switched at some point, or maybe somebody put it there. I don't know. Put it on St. Petersburg in Rus, in Mother Russia. And so the daughter, she looks up and she's like, "Where's that at?" And I'm like, I mean, and I said, this is where your mother is from. And she looked at it, and I was like, well, this is St. Petersburg in Russia. Your mother is from Moscow, but this is your mother's country where she is from, And I was hoping that, and she did look a little bit more, and I'm like thinking, yeah, she needs to know, Yeah. Good kids. Very good kids. They're gonna grow up to be bigger things, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, so my day was extremely fucking stressful. Not gonna lie, I'm glad to be here, and I'm very grateful for you to be here, Serendips, listening to my my stuff. What is this? Oh, obviously, yeah, I see it now. Um. Also, good. Also, I had a dream last night, and it reminded me then, upon waking up, it was actually a little nerve-wracking. When I woke up, my heart was a little bit, it was a dream about, sure. And, see, in this dream, I was able to, I could not remember much of it, but I can remember just the gist, pretty much, of it, which is good. That's more than I usually have been remembering. Like, it's been recently where I wake up and I just remember I had a dream, but I can't remember really anything about it, but just the feeling that it left behind, either like a good feeling or a bad feeling. This dream I could at least remember a little bit. And man, sometimes I think to myself, I'm such a fucking narcissist. Because that dream was about it was about somebody putting a hit out on me. Literally. Like I was somebody important that needed to be, it's so ridiculous. It was like a movie. It reminded me of the movie like Taken or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was so crazy. It was crazy because they literally went through. I couldn't trust anybody because everybody at any corner was like a secret agent trying to fucking hunt me down, and there were drones trying to chase me down, trying to shoot me too. And it was like, oh my god, dude! It was. Now, that whole thing was complete fiction. I can feel it and I can tell. It was not like there was nobody really after me. This was just my dream. What was not part of the dream, I'm pretty certain, was where I was at. Like, I was there. This was an actual place. Like, my it's like my astral body projected there, but it's like I was dreaming there. And it was like such a beautiful but very strange area, because the aesthetics of the area was like, it was like a mix between, it could have been Paris and then like Thailand, a place in Thailand. Like, and it was mixed like that. It was so weird. And it was so pretty. And I can feel with places, when I dream about places, I have this very often that I can feel and I know that this is a real place. And then once in a while, later in life, I go to this place and then I'm like, wait a minute. And I look around and I'm like, this is the place that was in my dream. This is the exact place. So, that has not happened often. I would say probably like about 3 or 4 times in my life has that happened. That's a cool dream. That's cool. Oh my god. Whenever I have dreams like that, it's so satisfying, right? When you have like telekinetic powers or whatever and they actually like they work directly like that. Oh man, it's like it feels like you are free. You're so free and you can use this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's a cool dream. Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe it's already fucking 11:30. Alright. Let's do this. Good. I was hoping. I was really hoping it was not going to be a bad card. Now, let's see. This is the 5 of Cups inverted. So this... I'm almost thinking it has to do with me. Because this is talking about... This thing does not have anything to do with me. But one of the things that it describes is the return of a past friend. Okay, but the other thing that it describes is new relationships, new friendships, new social connection. Maybe this is me. Because we are new to each other. We're making this connection, but it could also be somebody else. But I mean, it could, it could very well fit to this. But it's definitely good. New relationships and return of a past friend. Yep, those are the 2 specific descriptions of this card. You have an inkling? I always found that word so weird. I wonder what is the equivalent in German. I'm looking this up now. Inkling. I know it's like a hint or something, right? A feeling. Or like a thing. Let's see. Ahnung. Ahnung is inkling? Really? Because Ahnung would really be idea or like suggested thought or like Ahnung Ahnung. Like noticing a feeling. What else could be it? Let me just do the reverse and see what. Bet she's gonna get a different name if I put Ahnung now and then translate it to English. Idea, see, would be more. Ahnung. Could be idea, yeah, could be idea, but idea is actually Idee. You see, so it's not really translating it precisely how we would actually say it. Because idea is Idee. So Ahnung would be what there is a specific word. It's like the thought, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like a word. I don't know. It's like foresight almost, but that's not the word. It's like you have a feeling about something. You have a what's the fucking word? You can be like inkling. That's not the word though that I'm looking for. Like instead of, yeah, I was just gonna say instead of feeling thought. Yeah, it is like that. But there is a word. There is a fucking word in English. Hunch. Hunch. That's what I would use. That in order to in that context, hunch. Because inkling, hunch. I have a hunch. Yeah, that's the word that I would use for ano. I guess the slang word. I'm sure there's another better proper word, but hunch would be very close, I think. That's why I do like it in a way, but it does irritate me too. Sometimes when there's like a show, and there's like German, somebody speaks German in there, and then they get like the subtitles, right? That they had like the English subtitles down there. Oh my god, I am really a grammar Nazi. Like I don't care. I am, just like my mother, because it irritates the shit out of me, and I will sit there. And I will pause that right away and be like, this is not what he said just now. What he actually said, da 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 da. Because it's better. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's how I always interpreted it too. Inkling. Yeah, but it's like I already know if I can ever go to school and get an education, I already know what I want to go. I want to have 2 degrees in 2 separate things. I want to become a zoologist, and I want to have a doctor in zoology or PhD, whatever. And I also want to become a doctor of linguistics. That is my goal one day. Um, because I see, oh my God. And I do understand that, some things it is better to put them a certain way in order for the translation to connect with the context, especially when it's in a movie and stuff. But I think that I can still do better. I'm really good at it. I think I have like this talent for languages. And I looked that up one time because I was like curious, and I was thinking, I was like, is let me see. I want to see, are people that can speak more languages, are they like naturally, have they a higher IQ than other people? And really surprisingly enough, that it's not a thing. Just because you speak multiple languages does not actually technically make you smarter. It's just a thing. It did say that it's like, some people are just very, it's almost like a talent. It's just like a thing that that their brain works in this way, that they have a very good, they're very good at grasping, this type of thing, where others, are really good at math or whatever. I mean, but see, that's something you can always do though. If whenever because if you enjoy writing, then on your off time, because that's what I like to do too. I wrote a whole book, like an autobiography or whatever you want to call it, biography, whatever. But I wrote it when I was really young, so I have it still, but it needs a lot of like revamping, and I would probably just write it all over again. But it's like writing is so great, and if you enjoy it on your off time, you can just write your book, you know? No, I think that your grammar is very good. I don't think I've even seen any grammatical errors. Now, what I suck at is punctuation. Not really the punctuation per se, but rather like the comma. Because like I always sucked at it in German. I sucked at the comma placement. But I also suck at it in English. And what makes it even worse is that in the English language versus the German language, both languages place the commas in different parts of the sentences. Always. Like it's, I mean, sometimes it can be in the same place, but it's like, no, you don't put a comma there in English, but you put a comma there in German. And it's like, oh my fuck. Like, I suck at that. Really badly. Commata were always my problem. For some reason, like, in a simple sentence, it's easy for me, right? When it's like a 2-part sentence, you put the comma, you can kind of... But it's the longer the sentence gets, the more difficult it is for me to understand the proper placement of commata. Anti-Potter? That's cool, though. I would love to read anything. I mean, I like reading anything that's, something that I'm interested in, and obviously that's definitely something I'm interested in, so I think that's a good idea. I think you should do that. Now, I don't know how obsessed you become, because it's like, I become obsessed. If I were to say to myself right now, you know what, I'm going to write this book again now. I'm going to put everything on hold. Like, everything is going to be put on hold, and I'm going to fucking do that for like a few months. That's what I'm going to do. And I cannot do that right now. I cannot invest myself in that right now, because I gotta invest myself into stuff that makes me money, so I can get this money for that stupid fucking paperwork. And once I have accomplished that, then, I can fucking do the things. I can finish my 2 paintings that I've been fucking... It sounds like somebody's knocking. And I can keep writing, and I can do all that stuff. That really did sound like... Let me check out my window real quick. Oh, my feet hurt. No? Very quick. It's not my brother, because he texted me before he'd come over here. Unless he just did text me. See? Oh, cool. Oh, I'm going to read that. Ah! I'm excited because this is also really good, because the 2 books, I mean, I'm reading technically 4 books. But it's like, one of them is poetry, philosophy. One of them is theosophy. One of them is Shakespeare. And one of them is theology, right? So these are all books that are based, like, on sciences, on philosophy, on really, like, serious thing. And it's kind of like, now Shakespeare is a little, it's very theatrical, of course, obviously. So that doesn't really help, because that's still very philosophical and poetically put, right? So it's like, I don't like reading all the same kinds of books. I need to switch between, like, having a good storybook, like a Stephen King. Stephen King is like my favorite fiction author, right? Besides Patrick Süskind. But so I like switching between a Stephen King or something, and then getting back into the series and reading like this. And yeah, and I don't have a Stephen King book right now that I haven't read, and it's making me pissed. I want one right now. Maybe I'm gonna go to the thrift store. They are just $1. I can invest $1. Maybe I can find a book for $1. Yeah, because like I need a fiction shakeup in there. I don't know if that makes sense, but I cannot sit there. I can technically, and I do it right now because I don't have that fiction shakeup. But it is really draining for me to sit there for like 4 to 6 hours and just read that. I need to go, like, I read for 2 hours, I read this, and then for 2 hours I read that, and then like this, because it's like that's also kind of how I watch TV, right? So I like watching Archer. Archer is my comic relief. It's fucking funny and it's great. And it's like, but I'm interested on kind of like, right now I want to do research and I want to go to Malaysia and I want to know what creature they decided in Malaysia that everybody's talking about. And then I watch like Destination Truth or something. You know what I mean? Like, and then it shakes my brain up and I need that. It's kind of like a break time. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, a card game? That's so cool. I love that. I gotta shoot you this card game that somebody made and I helped them make this. Um yeah, I forget the name of it now. That it's a genius game. It's a card game that they had to make this for college and I helped them with it. I love Archer. And I watched it years ago, and I loved it then, and I watched all of it, and then it's been years, and then I recently was like, okay, was kind of done with all my shows because I love watching Family Guy, but I mean I've seen Family Guy so many fucking times, it's not even funny anymore. Um, so I was like getting really bored of it, I was like, okay, I'm getting sick of that. Then Key and Peele. I love their show. Fucking hilarious. I got sick of that. I was like, okay, I need something. I need a change. I had seen the Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is one of those shows that I love Rick and Morty, but I don't want to watch it again. I have no desire to watch Rick and Morty again. I think because it's like overly stimulating because there's so much always going on. And I think that's just something. I think that's also a reason why I never got into Futurama. I never liked Futurama. I never liked the humor. I thought it was so lame and dry, and I felt the same about The Simpsons. The Simpsons were aesthetically a little more pleasing because it was unique and different, so I liked it. But it was like the humor was just kind of like, I don't know. If I wanted humor in that sense, I liked watching South Park, but that was also a show that I didn't really want to watch again. So I was like, okay, so what can I do here? I've been watching fucking... Now, Trailer Park Boys, that's my comfort show. Trailer Park Boys. That is one of the best shows that the world doesn't even know about, really. Trailer Park Boys is amazing, okay? But you can only really understand it and feel it if you've ever lived in a trailer. I'm telling you. It is so fucking true. Now, it is exaggerated, but it's only exaggerated for American standards because it is a Canadian show and it plays in Canada, right? And that would be like the equivalent of being like in Europe, right? Things are a lot more loose. So what they go through, it makes sense. It's not far off from the truth, and it's so fucking great. Oh, I know Eric Andre's show. I love that show. Great show. Great show. Frig off, Randy Bobandy. I can literally quote everything. I can watch any episode and any scene, and I can speak the words as they're acting it out. That's how much I watch fucking Trailer Park. That is the best show. Like, nothing can beat it. But anyway, so my point was like, finally, I was like, okay, I was sick of all of it. I've seen all of it so many times, and I was like, okay, I need to change. And then Archer keep coming up in the thing in Hulu. Archer. Such a great show. But I was like, why not? And I had watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer the whole seasons again, and I watched Angel the whole season again. I was like, okay, yeah. Fell in love with Spike all over again. It was a total obsession for like a couple of months. Got a bunch of pictures. I'm like, oh, Spike, I love it. And then I put on Archer, and I'm like, yes, this is what I needed. And I've been watching it, and it's just so great. Yeah. But yeah, I do understand your pain. I mean, when you say that you have the options for so many things as a creator, that's cool. I'm a little bit limited with my time too to do that. But it is also, I can understand this thing, like, I will get involved in a painting or something for a while, like maybe a month or so, and then finally, and then I'm like, fucking, like, I don't even want to look at it anymore. Like, one painting that I was so invested in, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it sucks. I don't want to do it. It's wrong. It's not how it's supposed to look. And then I'm getting like all, and then I get into music again for a month, right? And I'm doing that, and I'm like hard in it, so hard in it. And then one day I'm just like, fuck this shit, man. I'm sick of it. I'm like, writing. Okay, writing. Yeah, I need to do that right now. Then I'll write for like a week, and I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. And I'm like, this is fucking lame. Fuck this shit. It's so weird. Like, why do I do this? Oh my god. That's why it's all half-assed. It's not half-assed. I hate half-assed shit. So these two paintings that, and I'm looking like this because one's sitting right over there and one's sitting right over there. It's like, it drives me mad that I have unfinished shit. I don't like having unfinished shit. It drives me insane. But I'm kind of like doing a diplomatic teaching, of patience. And it's like, as an artist, you gotta be fucking patient. Leonardo da Vinci and everybody else, Salvador Dali, and everybody did what they did, and they fucking took years and years. So it's like, okay, I gotta do the same thing. I gotta do it. Yeah, but definitely going to be awesome. Gonna read that shit. Yeah. Oh, that's small. Oh yeah, because it's just typing. So yeah, it's not a big size. I mean, like, it's only 350, 4 kilobytes. So I was like, because when it says 4 chapters, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, exactly. It is kind of like that too. I can always tell. It's like when I force myself, then it's like it's not gonna work. I have to really just be calm and let it take as long as it needs to take. That's always my problem. I'm always trying to rush things. And I needn't do that. Dude, this is fucking awesome. But it's a compressed zip folder. I don't know how this would work on my phone. I mean, I don't know. What is this? Oh, this guy texted me? Who's that? Oh. Okay, why is it not, okay, let's see if it's in my folder, because it did say downloaded, so. Because I can totally switch, oh, there it is. Extract, okay, extract, yep. Okay, done. There it is. Let me see. Dude, yeah. And I can zoom in. Yes. This is awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, thank you for sending that. Thank you for sending that. That is great. Okay. Thank you for sending me that. That's fucking awesome. Ah, yeah. This weekend coming now, I can probably do that. Get in, but I do need to really continue with my painting, especially this one. This one I have here, you guys haven't even seen it. Like, it's big and it's a lot. It's done a lot already, but this is about a dream that I had about my dad, and this is like really sentimentally important to me. I'm really almost thinking I want to switch it up and not work on this one for a minute and go back to this one and readdress this one. I think I have ideas. Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna tell you. I'm not a person. I will tell you what I think. I mean, I don't know how much value you hold in my opinion, but I'm thinking that maybe it can be of help to have somebody's opinion. On stuff. That's why I always like people telling me what they think about what I do. Because I really want to know. I don't like when people tell me what they know I want to hear. It's like, no, tell me what you really think. And trust me, sometimes I can get grumpy about it, but I rarely disagree, So, yeah, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that too. Like I said earlier, when I wrote my book about my biography or whatever, I was fucking literally 17 when I wrote it. So it's like, you know, it needs a lot of like shit. Like I probably need to just rewrite the whole thing. Because there's a lot of stuff I remember that I put a lot of stuff in there that was, for me in my 17-year-old mentality that I felt like was very important to be um in my story, right, about myself, about what happened in my life. And now looking back at 35 is like I should have totally left that shit out. Like nobody cares. This is not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? So, mhm. No, see, that's good because overly complex I have with Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher. That's complex, So that's another thing why I would need this kind of like a little bit more of a fantastical and a little bit more of an entertaining mix up, an easier read that's easier to just skim through and read and have it go by as the story in your head like a movie. Um, to give that little break in between. So that's perfect. Because Stephen King doesn't write in a way where you cannot grasp it. It is very easily graspable, but it does just draws you in so deeply because he really it's so captivating because he really has I mean, he must have analyzed and explored and understood human, the deepest, darkest human fears that can be so small, but when you exploit them, they become this fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but he's a genius at his craft. But he doesn't write like you can't understand or like you have to fucking like sit there like this. When I read Friedrich Nietzsche, I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Like one sentence is like four lines, and then okay, and then I'm done with the sentence, and I'm sit there, and I'm like, okay, next sentence. You know what I mean? It's like it's like work. It's like going to school for work. But yeah, I think I might be hopping off for tonight. Because but me and you can, we can chat in the Discord and stuff. I can sit downstairs and fucking take a breather and fucking. Hopefully my Roku works and I can fucking chill for a minute. Damn. So I really do appreciate that you came tonight, Serendibs. Good stream, anyway. So at least you were here. But gonna try again tomorrow and see. Maybe tomorrow we can get. Maybe tomorrow I can be on earlier. Hopefully, I really hope, and then it can be better. But thank you so much for coming. I'll text you back on the Discord. Yep, and I appreciate you very much. And I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to help the cause and stop reproducing. And don't forget to mourn those in spiritual turmoil. And I say tschüss, zdravo, and bye.